Hi, I'm female 36, and my fiance, male 30, are engaged and our wedding set to be in 1 week. My fiance proposed to me last year and gifted me a beautiful diamond ring. I in return bought his ring. My fiance was engaged before me when he was 22 years old, and his ex-fiancée Sarah was his best friend, but the relationship didn't work out and they broke up. Now they have a semi-friend relationship because they have a lot of mutual friends. I never actually liked her, she's full of herself, but we didn't cross paths, so we were cool. Last week in my bachelorette party, that my sister-in-law prepared for me, Sarah came wearing a stunning diamond ring, very unique one, and looks very familiar. And she started showing off her ring, but I thought good for her, she has a beautiful ring. Later I heard my sister-in-law telling Sarah she was an a-hole for wearing the ring and should take it off. So later I asked my sister-in-law why she told Sarah that, and she told me that was our family heirloom that her great-grandfather made that my fiancé gifted Sarah. He proposed with that ring. I would be lying if I said I wasn't angry. She intentionally wore that ring so she could show off. I asked my sister-in-law why didn't Sarah return the ring. She told me that Sarah refused to return it because she loved it so much, and mother-in-law insisted that was okay. I find it very weird that she still has it, especially because of its great value to the family. Yesterday in a family dinner, my mother-in-law told me in front of everyone, "Don't be sad we like Sarah, so she can have that family ring, because she's family." I didn't tell anyone, not even my fiancé, what happened in the party, and my sister-in-law didn't also. And before I said anything, my fiancé told his mother that she stole that ring, and no one even likes Sarah. She's your friend's daughter, and not family, and Sarah was uninvited from the wedding because of her behavior. Of course, mother-in-law threw a tantrum, but stopped when he told her that he will uninvite her too. Later that night, my father-in-law apologized for mother-in-law's behavior, and told me that it's okay to demand the ring because it's yours. Today at uni, Sarah came to me still wearing that ring, and demanded that I invite her back to the wedding and not to be petty. And oh boy, that was the last straw. I demanded that she hand me that ring and that she stole what's mine. I just got a text in my fiance's family's group chat from mother-in-law saying I'm the a-hole for demanding the family ring. So am I the a-hole here? Edit. I don't want the ring, it's just the idea of her having it bothers me. Also, my mother-in-law's behavior. Info, because a lot of comments ask about it. Sarah was invited to the bachelorette party by mother-in-law. I had 2 parties, one with my friends, and the other one was requested by mother-in-law. I didn't know she was invited. Update. Hi everyone. Thank you all for your input. I talked to my fiancé about it, and he told me not to bother myself with them, and he will take care of everything. I told him after reading all your comments that I understand that I didn't have any claim for the ring. I just felt angry at Sarah and mother-in-law's behaviors, and stressed because of the wedding and uni exams. Last month, my fiancé's grandparents gifted me all the family heirlooms. My mother-in-law didn't get anything because my fiancé's grandmother didn't like her. And she also gave a certificate that all of them are mine to use as gifts if I want. I will be looking at it to see if that ring registers there. Unless your fiancé's family is willing to get that ring back themselves, it's her ring. It's not your rightful property. But she better accept that keeping the family heirloom means she's not invited to the wedding. Duh. Your fiancé should have been the one to have the confrontation with Sarah. Technically, you aren't married yet and have no claim to anything from his family. Everyone sucks here. She's clearly in the wrong for not returning the ring when the engagement ended, and an even bigger one for deliberately flaunting it. Your future mother-in-law is an a-hole for the game she's playing and what appears to be interference, supporting her in not returning the ring to the ex-fiancé. Your father-in-law is a minor a-hole for encouraging you to demand the ring back. But you were still an a-hole for demanding the ring. It's not your ring. It's your fiancé's family ring, and he is the one who needs to demand it back. My husband and I have 6 children total and live in 4-bedroom house. We have 2 sons together, 8 and 6. I have a son from a previous relationship, 15, and I have 3 stepchildren, 20 female, 16 male, and 16 female. We live in a 4-bedroom house, and for most of the time we've lived there, we had 2 kids per room, with the youngest boy sharing, the older boy sharing, and the girl sharing. Things changed a couple years ago. My oldest stepdaughter finished school and is attending university locally. The girls decided at this point that instead of sharing a bedroom at their dad's and sharing a bedroom at their mom's, they would each take one room as their permanent bedroom. So the 16-year-old lives with us full-time, and the 20-year-old lives with her mom full-time. They both visit the other parent's house regularly. My 16-year-old stepson has his own bedroom at his mom's house, but still splits time between each parent's house, mostly 50-50. My son lives full-time with us, as he doesn't have much of a relationship with his dad. My son and stepson do not get on that well, and they can often be heard screaming at each other in their bedroom. Recently, I asked my stepson why he doesn't move to live full-time with his mom, so he and my stepson can have a similar arrangement as their sisters. This way, both of the boys would have their own rooms. He would obviously still visit like his older sister does, and we could figure something out like a futon instead of a bed in their room, so my son has more space when stepson's not there. My stepson overreacted to my suggestion and is trying to make it out like I'm kicking him out, when really, I'm just thinking of a better use of space. It's unfair that all the older kids but my son have their own rooms at one of their parents' house. My son likes the idea and has brought it up to his stepbrother a few more times since I originally suggested it, and it has caused arguments between them. He now seems to be considering it. My husband is angry with me for suggesting his son moving permanently to his mom's. He thinks that he and his son would have a less close relationship if this happens. My husband favors his oldest son over our boys. He also thinks I'm making his son feel like he's being forced out. However, it was his daughters already doing the same thing that gave me the idea because it worked out well for them and they both seem happier. I'm also not forcing this to happen. I was just suggesting it to him. It would be completely up to him. Is this a good plan, or am I the a-hole for bringing it up? Did he overreact though? Did he? Or did he act like a 16-year-old whose stepmother asked him to move out of his father's house after listening to him get verbally thrashed by her son for a few years? You're the a-hole. You're the a-hole. How would you feel if you found out your husband told your teenage son to consider living somewhere else so his bio kid could have more room? Seriously, ask yourself. You're the a-hole. Hope your husband opens his eyes and divorces you. Maybe if you parented your son better, there wouldn't be an issue, because it's obvious he learned this entitled behavior from someone. You allowed your son to harass that child to the point that he is even considering leaving his own father's house. You created a toxic household and are patting yourself on the back because home running away fits right into your narrative. You already forced his other two daughters out and don't even see it as a bad thing because it goes with your my own nuclear family nonsense. You're a walking embarrassment. Step-parents like you truly belong in a Disney movie and not as the good guy. So, before my wife and I met, she lost her daughter 5 years ago, when the daughter was in high school and my stepson Evan was in elementary school. Needless to say, her passing hit their family really hard, Evan especially. They had a very close sibling bond. It's like he lost a piece of himself. As a result, Evan, now 15, keeps a photo of her in a locket on a chain. To the outside observer, it just looks like a normal necklace, but it's his most valuable possession. Last Thursday, Evan came home with a detention slip for the next day after school. The offense was listed as uncouth language and severe insulting of another student, or something along those lines. I asked him to explain what happened, and this is how he described it. Apparently, at the start of his gym class, he took off his necklace and put it with his hoodie against the wall. Another student, Kayla, picked up his necklace and started taunting him about it. She asked if it was his girlfriend's picture, and when Evan said it was his sister, she said, "That makes sense. Only gay guys wear necklaces after all." Haha. Evan tried to take the necklace back, but she and her friends tossed it around and played a sort of keep away with it. When he eventually got it back with the help of a friend of his, he cussed her and her friends out quite loudly. I'm not sure what exactly he shouted at her, but it did, by Evan's own admission, include "duck you," "B, see you next Tuesday," and "piece of crap," without the censoring, of course. Because he swore a lot and shouted, the school decided that he was the aggressor in the situation and issued him an after-school detention. Kayla has not been punished so far as I know. I reluctantly signed the detention slip because I didn't want to cause trouble between Evan and the school administration. Neither my wife or myself have given him any other punishment. Yesterday, my wife came to me in private and told me that she'd been thinking things over and wanted to give Evan extra chores as a punishment. She said that while what Kayla did was awful and cruel, his language was unacceptable. She put special emphasis on him calling a girl a B and said that that word was particularly harmful to young women. I'm not a woman, so I don't know if this is true. I told her that he already was punished. He had detention. She said that he needs to know that we don't approve either, that some punishment needs to come from us. She eventually gave up, but now she's being a bit cold and distant, and I'm wondering if I did something wrong and if I should agree to punish Evan. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole, and I also think you should be going to the school and addressing the girl and her friend's behavior. To taunt a young man over a necklace with the picture of his dead sister? Have the girl and her parents called into the office and ask them if they feel their daughter and their friend should be allowed to get away scot-free over such behavior. Not the a-hole. The girl is lucky that harsh words were all he used. That's a situation where I don't think I'd punish him if he got the necklace back by force. That girl is an aggressor, so she earned any and all cruel words he said to her. Not the a-hole. If your son told you the truth, Kayla deserved every word, and she should have been in detention herself. Yes, those words are harmful. So was her behavior. So I have zero sympathy for her. If she doesn't want to be called bad names, she shouldn't make it fit her behavior. My ex-husband and I, 32, had a friendly divorce years ago. In the divorce, he told me to keep the diamond ring. He said it had been bought with the intention of it being mine, and it had been put to good use because we had many good years together. We both moved on, and I've been dating Mark, 36, for 2 years now. We've talked about moving in together and getting married. We're at the step where we talk about our finances, and I talked about all my assets and debts, including my old engagement ring, which is a designer brand worth a significant amount. Mark said now that I'm moving on with my life, I should sell the ring and put the money to our future, possibly to contribute towards a down payment for a home together. I disagreed on selling it. There is language in our divorce agreement that gave me full ownership of the ring, but it was a gift to me, so it feels wrong to financially profit off of it. Plus, it was paid for by my ex, so it also feels wrong to put the money towards something with a new partner. I said if the idea of me having the ring made Mark uncomfortable, I will give the ring back to my ex-husband for him to go sell, or I could turn it into another piece of jewelry like earrings or a necklace. Mark is upset I could have a significant amount of money for a down payment that I'm refusing to use. In full honesty, I have very little savings and deferred student loans because I went to medical school. I was a resident and fellow for 6 years and made a very low salary while in training. This upcoming July, I will have officially finished my fellowship, so my new salary will be significantly higher. I have no problems paying off my own loans. It's just that I have no significant savings to put towards either a wedding or a home with Mark, and selling the ring could give me a large sum of cash. I refused to on principle. I told Mark I'm happy and willing to pay him rent if he wanted to buy a place, and I move in with him, or we could wait until I had more savings from my new salary. He said it was showing that I didn't care about us if I could be putting a significant amount towards our future together and choose not to in order to hold on to a ring that should have no meaning to me. So am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole, and I may get downvoted for this, but I don't care. Here's why. You are willing to get rid of the ring and just give it back to your ex, which shows you aren't holding on to the past relationship. It's not about the money for you, but it's about the monetary value of the ring for Mark. But you just don't want to disrespect your ex by using his money to finance a home for your new boyfriend, which is respectable. Not the a-hole. And Mark is acting entitled to your possessions and your money. It may or may not have to do with trying to erase your past with another man, but the part going forward that would worry me is him trying to push you into selling your property to benefit him. I mean, notice that he didn't recommend that you sell the ring to pay off your student loans that won't be deferred much longer. That doesn't benefit him. He sounds like someone who would take advantage of you. Not the a-hole. If you haven't gotten it insured, do so now. It might disappear because of a misunderstanding, and a substantial payment on your future home has been made by your future husband, not you. Wear it always, on a chain, or keep it locked away in a box only you have access to. Being that he only sees it as a financial asset, I would keep it as a safeguard if things go horribly wrong, and you need fast funds in the event of an emergency. I, 54 female, have 3 kids, 2 sons and a daughter. I have an amazing relationship with all of them, and I'm very proud of them. My daughter Catherine, 24 female, is the youngest of her siblings. She's always been extremely smart. She succeeded in whatever she tried to do during her entire life, and is now on an excellent path for her future and career. However, her emotional intelligence is a bit behind her other skills. Catherine started dating a girl, Haley, 25 female, about 2 years ago. The moment she brought her home, I could tell that Haley was a materialistic person, unlike Catherine, and was after her own gain. Catherine is very kind and sentimental. She values the deeper sense of belonging and family more than anything else, and Haley was quite the opposite. So I warned Catherine then, but she shut me down. I never mentioned it again during the past 2 years. Turns out, I was right. Catherine came home for a brief visit and said that she had broken up with Haley because all she could see was material. She was understandably heartbroken. I told her I could see this moment clear as day the first time I saw Haley, and that it would hurt less with time. Catherine told me I was being insensitive by using this moment to tell her I'd told her so. I said it was clear from day one that they wouldn't make it, and I was just saying that Haley really wasn't her person, and frankly, wasn't a good fit for our family either. She acted cold towards me and hasn't called me this week, which is weird because no matter what, she calls me once a week. Was I an a-hole about this? You're the a-hole. Your daughter did not need an "I told you so" in that moment. She needed a "that sucks, I'm so sorry," or a "how can I help you," or maybe just a hug. You turned it into a moment for you to be in the right rather than comfort your child who had just ended a relationship. Great job. Unfortunately, we shouldn't badmouth our loved ones' ex-partners. They fell in love with this person for a reason. Saying "I told you so" doesn't make them feel better, but makes us feel better. All you can do is be as supportive as possible, not make judgment against Haley. You're the a-hole. Why kick someone when they are down? I don't think you have quite the great relationship you think you do. Your daughter never confided in you about her relationship problems, and it sounds like you heard well after the fact about the breakup. Maybe take a step back and ask yourself why.